What's up, family? Man, it's Saturday morning. I'm tired. But and it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day at work. But I want to jump on there and have a real heart to heart with you guys. Okay, it's crucial that we have this conversation. Crucial. Many years ago, I used to work in a prison in California, at a men's prison, and we taught anger management, domestic violence, how to deal with your anger management, how to deal with domestic violence, where domestic violence comes from, how to deal with it, how to move beyond it, substance abuse, how to cope with it, not just cope with, but how to move beyond it, how to understand it, parenting classes, just all kinds of stuff, right? And we would meet so many guys that had been in and out of prison. Man, they knew the lingo, they knew what we were talking about. Man, they could teach the classes, you know what I mean? They could teach the classes, but they could never put any of the things that they knew into action. They could never live the things that they talked about. They could never live the things that they taught in the classes. They knew the classes, you know what I mean? They knew what we were talking about. Their conversation was on point, their dialogue. If they weren't in their prison uniform, if they had on some slacks, nice Stacy Adams, and a tie or whatever, man, you would swear that they'd never been incarcerated. You would swear that, man, they've been teaching this stuff for years, because they knew it. And yet, I'm strung out on drugs for years, in and out of the prison system on a revolving door basis. You know what I mean? They're doing life on an installment plan. That's how they were living their life, going in and out of prison. They'll get out for a few months, get out maybe a year, and come right back, catch another case, come right back, and this has been their course of their life for years. And although they said they were sick and tired of it, they're fed up with it, they weren't willing to change. They weren't willing to do what they need to do to live a different life. And why am I having this conversation with you guys? Because you're going to meet people just like that. And the truth is, some of you, a lot of you, are just like that. And what I mean by that, you're not going to grow. You're not willing to grow. And you're not willing to grow because you're comfortable right where you're at. And it is what it is. I hold no judgment against anyone. It is what it is. I'm having this conversation because I want you to see the truth. I want you to understand the truth. And for those of you that are trying to help others heal, for those of you that are trying to help others move beyond where they're at, man, you got to stop personalizing the fact that they're not going to move beyond where they're at. You got to stop personalizing the fact that this is your kid and they're stuck on drama. They're addicted to drama. This is your wife. This is your spouse. This is your mama, your daddy, whoever it is, your sibling. They're addicted to drama. They're not going to change. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. Stop personalizing it. It ain't about you. It ain't about you. Stop making other people's issues your issue. I don't care what they talk about. I don't care what they do. They're not going to change. It's scary to change. It's scary to go into that jungle of your mind and to deal with the trauma and drama of your past that's put you in certain circumstances, emotionally, intellectually, and sometimes physically and spiritually. It's traumatic to have to relive that stuff again in the process of dealing with it and healing from it and moving beyond it. Some people aren't willing to do that. They're not going to do that. And it is what it is. That's okay. This is their journey. Allow them to live their journey. Allow them to be them. Don't judge them. Don't get mad at them. Allow them to be them, because they're going to be them regardless. The question is, are you going to be you? Are you going to stay in their drama, stay in their hell, being attached to them and never reaching your full potential because you're attached to this person at the hip? And you allow their chaos, you allow their drama, you allow their trauma to drown you in your desire to help them. Because the trip is, some of us, quote unquote, as healers, some of us, quote unquote, as empath, and those that are trying to help others, if the truth be told, a lot of us have crap we haven't dealt with. And that's why we're addicted to trying to save everybody else. When I worked in the prison system, there's a term that everybody would say, Captain Save a Hoe. I had to come to the realization that I was Captain Save a Hoe. I wanted to save the whole world. I wanted to save everybody. I was willing to go that last step to save everybody. Something that I had to learn was that I put more effort into saving everybody else than I did myself. I'm going to say that again. I put more effort into trying to save the world and trying to save everybody else and trying to save my relationships and trying to save them and trying to help them and trying to save these guys in this prison system, in regards to trying to save the women in the prison system that where I worked at too. I put more effort into trying to save all these people than I was putting into saving myself. And I had to come to the understanding that, hey, you know what? Although I'm doing a great thing, although I'm helping other people, I'm distracted. I'm distracted. And what I mean by that, I'm distracted because I'm not saving myself. I'm not working on me because I'm so focused and so fixated on everybody else. So you're doing a good thing, but you're doing a good thing for the wrong reason. You're doing a good thing because you don't want to deal with your stuff. You're doing a good thing because you don't want to focus on your stuff. So it's a distraction in your growth and development. It stunts your growth and development. You've learned some things. And because you've learned some things, you now taking those things and you want to share it. You want to help everybody else. That's commendable. That's commendable. But don't get it twisted. Don't allow your ego. Again, we're talking about ego all the time. Don't allow your ego to get you caught up in being Captain Save a Hoe, saving everybody else and neglecting yourself. Stop putting yourself in a situation to where you're giving your all to everyone and it's draining you to the point where you just become bitter and mad and angry and throw up your hands and F this and I'm done and I'm not helping nobody else and they can all kiss my A and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You know what I mean? Don't become that person. And if you are that person, understand that it's nobody's fault but your own. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but it is what it is. You could stay in that funk, or you could take a shower and get up like, man, okay, that was to teach me something. And what that was to teach me was healthy boundaries. What that was supposed to teach me was, say, you know what, man, you need to take care of you first and foremost. It's great helping other people, but you're not doing anything for them if you crash and burn in the process. I have to take care of me. This is a selfish thing. And I don't care what people say. They're going to be like, oh, you can't be selfish with you. Man, I'm not trying to hear that foolishness. Do you. Live your life how you want to. But if I don't take care of me, first and foremost, if I'm not eating right, if I'm not getting enough sleep, if I'm not exercising like I should be, if I'm doing all these things that's toxic and negative to me, then I can't be any good for everybody else. If I take care of me, if I preserve me, and I'm not talking about taking care of me and preserving me to where I just block out everybody else or I'm just ghosting everybody else. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, man, I got to make sure that I'm eating right. I got to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I got to make sure that I'm spending time meditating. I got to make sure that I'm taking time to be out in nature. You know what I mean? I got to make sure that I'm taking time to eat right. I got to make sure I'm taking enough time, man, to exercise, to stretch. You know what I mean? I got to make sure that I'm going to work and having money coming in to take care of my bills and take care of my responsibilities. I got to take care of that stuff. That's nobody else's responsibility. So I have to take care of me. I have to deal with my trauma and my drama. I have to take care of me. You have to take care of you. And in the process of taking care of you, and in the process of me taking care of me, man, we can help others. But we don't help others to the detriment of ourselves. We don't help others to the point to where we start drowning in their sorrow. We start drowning in their issues. Because then we've missed the point. Everybody ain't willing to do the work. It is what it is. Love them from a distance, but keep it moving. Everybody can't go where you go. Everybody can't walk into your promised land season. Everybody ain't gonna elevate when it's time to elevate because they're not willing to put it in the work. It is what it is. There's no judgment. But don't miss out on your elevation because you're holding on to a whole bunch of people that ain't trying to go nowhere. You're trying to elevate while trying to hold on to people that ain't trying to go there. You're going to have to learn to let them go. And it hurts when it's your family. It hurts when it's your kids. It hurts when it's your siblings. It hurts when it's your parents. It hurts when it's your spouse, your significant other. It hurts. I get that. Been there, done that. But the question you need to ask yourself is what's more important? Did I come here to stay connected to these toxic, dramatic people that ain't going nowhere? Or did I come here for a purpose? And what is my purpose? If my purpose is my growth and development and moving on this path, and I know that's my purpose, then why would I stop going this way to go this way just to stay connected to somebody who's not living my purpose, who's not here going the direction that I'm trying to go, that I'm supposed to go? So when it comes down to it, it's your choice. It's your choice. It's always your choice. Do I stay connected? Dying, crying on the inside, knowing that I'm connected to you and I'm lonely, knowing that I'm connected to you and I'm frustrated, knowing that I'm connected to you and I'm losing my mind because I don't get you. I don't understand why you keep making the choices you make. And the trip to that is, Source, God, is looking at you and they're saying, hey, You're frustrated with that person because they keep making those same toxic choices. You're frustrated with that person because you don't understand what is it so important about the drugs. What is it so important about their criminal friends that make them keep doing things that keep getting them in trouble, and it's not in their best interest. Why do they keep doing that? Where's the disconnect at? And Source and God is looking at you and asking you the same thing. Why do you stay in that toxic relationship and you know it ain't good? Why do you stay connected? Why do you keep putting yourself in that same situation? They keep getting hurt. They keep getting your feelings kicked in. They keep getting your gut kicked in. And I'm not talking about physically, although that may happen physically, but I'm talking about emotionally. You keep going out to people and reaching out to people. You know I don't want nothing to do with you. You know they ain't got no connection with you. That you know they're not going to validate you. You know they're not going to show you the love that you think you deserve or the appreciation you deserve. You know you're not going to get it. Why do you keep trying to get it from them? That's what God is asking you. You keep getting hurt, being connected to people and their issues because you got issues you don't want to let go of, you don't want to resolve. So you keep being attached to your pain and suffering. And that's why you keep making the choices you make. Just like they're attached to whatever it is they're attached to. Why they keep going in and out of prison. Why they're addicted to drugs. Why they're addicted to alcohol. And they keep going back. They know it's no good for them, but they can't let it go. You know these people are no good for you. It don't matter who they are. You know they're no good for you. And you keep holding on to them. It's funny how we can see things in other people that we refuse to see in ourselves. It's funny how we know all the right things to say when it's other people going through it. But yet, when the mirror's been flipped and we're looking at the man in the mirror, we don't want to see that. We're just like them. We're just like them. Different circumstances, but we're just like them. My hope and prayer is that you stand up and have a long look in the mirror. And that you don't just see your physical being. You see your soul. You see your heart. And that you come to grips with the fact you haven't been doing the work to elevate. Some of us are going to miss out on this elevation season because we have refused to do the work. And it is what it is. You're going to have to catch that next season. You're going to have to catch that next elevation. Because you missed this one. Because you were so distracted. You missed this one. Because you were so addicted to helping everybody else. You missed this one. Because you were terrified of being alone and letting go of all of those toxic people. All of those negative people. All of those toxic and negative things. You couldn't let them go. You made the choice to hold on to those things over your growth and development. And you can't blame anyone. You can if you want to, but the reality is that's going to be part of your lesson too, because there's nobody's fault but your own. And learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. We're always in school. School is always in session. That's what this life is all about. That's what life is all about. It's just a schoolyard. And we're always in session. There's a lesson in everything. There are multiple lessons in every situation we face. Every situation. And sometimes we don't pass the test. And we have to take the course over again. And sometimes we have to take it over again and again. But it is what it is. It's okay. There are some people that refuse to go to school. When I was in school, man, I was ditching school all the time. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing my homework, never did my homework. I would go in there faking the funk. I would never read a book report. I mean, never read a book in school, you know. And that time for that, I was too cool, you know what I mean? So I thought I was too cool, I was too smart. Now that I'm older, now that I'm a little wiser, I realize that what I was doing in high school, so many were doing in life. I'm gonna say that again. What I was doing in high school, so many were doing in life. And what I mean by that, I was chasing all the girls. I don't know, I was cool. I was hanging out with the homies. You know what I mean? Man, drinking, smoking weed, doing all that stupid stuff. When I started smoking weed in the 7th grade, I was doing all that stupid stuff, except for what I was supposed to do. I always had my lady friends write notes for me, excusing me for my absences. You know what I mean? Because I was always missing school. I don't even know how I graduated, but I was always missing school. I never read books in school. I read maybe just the first 2 or 3 pages, middle few pages, the last 2 pages, and I faked the funk and just blew smoke up everybody's tail. You know what I mean? But I was good at it. I was good at it. And it got me through. And many of us were good at faking the funk. But life, you can't cheat life. You can't cheat God. He's the most compassionate teacher you'll ever come across. The most sympathetic teacher you'll ever come across. You can't blow smoke up his butt. You know what I mean? He's going to listen to your stories, your why me's and cry me a rivers and just all your drama. And he's going to sit there and just, and while you're crying and whining and complaining, it's okay. Go back to repeat. And some of us, we live our life on repeat. And what I mean, repeat, is we keep going through the same crap over and over and over and over because we refuse to grow up. We refuse to learn the lesson. Look at the mirror and see where you really are. Understand where you are. Because you've passed some tests, so many of us have convinced ourselves that we've elevated beyond where we really are at. We've passed so many tests and we failed so many others. You know what I mean? We failed so many others. And it's all right. It's a part of life. It's a part of life. Learn the lessons. Be honest with yourself about where you're at. And understand you cannot save everybody. You didn't come here to save everybody in the process of losing yourself. You came here to save yourself and to help as many as you can in the process. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.